that one. Namely, of course, Eunaeus. I'll do all the nominative stuff first. And so there is my nominative womens, present active participle, masculine nominative singular. That one, vomiting rivers of blood. Yes, because his chest has been pierced. False. Now, of course, sanguinis is genitive, but genitives, very often, they just are adjectival most of the time. And so I'm going to mark it along with the thing it's modifying, naming the rivers, the streams of blood. That one's spewing rivers of blood falls. And mandit. We get mandible, of course, from that. Mandit. Atque cruenta mandit hum moriensque suo sinvonera versat. And he bites. Now, you perhaps have heard of Queen, and they have a song, Another One Bites the Dust. Now, that is a Homeric expression. It comes from Homer. Heroes, when they are in their final moments and they've been mortally wounded, the pain, the agony, the distress, the despair, even though you know it's coming, yet still you thought for some irrational reason you were going to survive, and so in the moment that you're confronted with the shattering of that illusion that you're going to die in such agony, you lose control, and you writhe and you turn, and when you go face down into the dust into which you are bleeding, your teeth gnash and chomp into the bloody dust. That's where we get the phrase, bite the dust. It's a Homeric epic phrase for when heroes are breathing, gasping their last, and in their gasp they chew the bloody dust that they have just recently engored. And he bites the bloody earth, and dying, he turned himself on his wound. It's pretty good, right? It's pretty good. Then, oh my gosh, what should we do here? I have some direct objects. What are we supposed to infer again? Oh yes, Camilla. We are supposed to infer Camilla and a verb for to kill. Then Camilla kills Lyrus and Pegasus. Further, super is very idiomatic here, and we have almost the same kind of expression. If we were listing things and then we come to some point in that list and I say, on top of that, it's not a literal placing on top of anything. It's figurative. That's what we have here. Super, above, on top. On top of that, she then kills Lyrus and Pegasus. Alter and alter, of course, these are going to be correlative. When you have two of them, it means one and another. So here we have two guys, one of which, nominative stuff first, one of whom, having turned from the dumped over horse. So they were on horseback, and evidently one of these men is on horseback, and he's falling from the falling horse. The horse tipping over, he's falling from it. One of whom, having fallen from the tipped over, dumped over horse, while he collects the habenas, while he collects the reins. The reins, of course, not like the reins from the sky, but the reins of a horse, the leather straps used to steer them. While the other, approaches. So evidently these two are friends, and when one friend sees another in distress, that friend wants to help, right? Well, that's what we have here. with sub-ao. Sub plus ao means to come up to, approach. English has a similar idiom. It's just the opposite, right? Literally, to come down or under. English says up. I could say, oh, someone came up to me the other day, and there's no notion of a change of elevation. It's just an expression for to approach, and that's what we have here. English just does Latin just does the opposite. While the other approaches and dextram labenti tendit inermem, and stretches like a tendon, stretches his defenseless right hand, stretches his defenseless right hand to the one falling, the defenseless right hand to the one falling. Well, what does that mean? Obviously, one of them who's falling off the horse is reaching up for help, and the other one is reaching down to help. And in order to help someone, you can't extend a sword. Here, like, grab this. No. He's offering a hand for his friend to grab. And necessarily that hand has to be unarmed. And so it's an expression of vulnerability, and he's vulnerable. Why? Because he's helping his friend. He's helping his friend. But what happens to these two? What happens to these two? Praecipites pariterque ruint. Headlong and equally they fall. Camilla kills them. You get this nice, very dramatic, sympathetic depiction here. Lots of details. The falling man from the fallen horse. The right hand, defenseless. That's a lot of narrative detail. Here we just get quickly and equally they die. We're left to our imagination to see what Camilla did to them. Sometimes it's a narrative technique. Sometimes Vergil is going to give us very explicit methods of killing somebody. Sometimes we're left to our own imagination. She adds, right? We talked about, which one did she kill first? Which ones did she kill first? Who last? Well, keep going. We're adding now. We're counting. She adds to these Amastris, son of Hippotides, and sequitur incumbens amines hasta teriaque parlacum quet demorpho vanta chromique. It is a long list of direct objects. Everyone named, though. Critical. Naming. You better be picking up on this theme by now. The names. And she, nominative stuff first, threatening, looming over, breathing down the neck, we could say. And she follows, threatening, far off, with a spear. Ablative of means. And these are the people she's threatening. Teria and Harpalycus and Demophawand and Chromis. Quatqua missamanu. Some nice alliterative there. Contorsit spicula virgo. Watch out, virgo is your nominative. Virgo is your nominative third declension. Virgo, virginus. Virgo, virginus. Feminine nominative singular. And how many? Very difficult. You got to go, how many what? How much or how many? You got to go to the thing it's talking about, regardless of whether it's a nominative or a direct object. That's where you got to go next in English. And how many darts? Perhaps arrows. And how many darts sent from the hand the virgin shot? So you might say, obviously short shot, but this emissamanu, this connection here, is giving us a very evocative image of the projectiles leaping from their hands. So we're probably dealing with darts of a javelin kind, right? So it's so cinematic. And here, the Virgo is tossing these things. And how many darts? sent from the hand the virgin shot, contorsit. Now you might see contorsit as a verb for to shoot, but its first definition, contorkeo, means to twist or turn. It's because if you are throwing things, what do you have to do with your torso? Yes, you have to twist it. You have to torque it. And it's necessary to produce energy to send the projectile out. There's twisting, torquing. And so that's why in Latin you'll see very often the same verb for to twist, also to hurl, to chuck, to shoot. Quat and tot are correlative. Correlative means they go together. When I use these words, correlative, and you're watching these videos, and you're like, I don't know what correlative means, and you just let the video go, you're doing the wrong thing. Look it up. Correlative. They go together. Neither nor. Either or. Both and. Quat, tot. However many, those arrows she shot, or javelins, so many. Tot, frigii cacitera viri. So many Phrygian, same word as Trojan, so many Phrygian men fell. Cacitera there is really caciterunt. Caciterunt. Syncopated perfect. Remember those? You remember those from poetry? Syncopated forms, syncopated. So many Phrygian men, or heroes, fell. It's nice. She shoots one arrow, she throws one dart, she throws one javelin, boom. It's one dead Trojan. Phrygian. One for one. It's very effective. Now, we have this description, extraordinary description here, coming up for